You've raised $180 million. How are you deploying that capital?
For us, it's doing more of what we're already doing. It's clearly working. Very grateful for the partnership we have with our customers. And what they tell us that there's still some way to go on the AI videos, making the avatars even more lifelike, even better. Some of the things we're looking at this year is having avatars that can pick up an object and talk about it, have conversations like we're doing right now. And so there's a big investment going in there. That's both talent, it's increased compute, it's all the things you'd expect from an AI company. We're also investing more in our core platform. We're bringing some new video experiences to life this year. So most people think of video as being broadcast like we're doing right now. It's a linear beginning and an end. Everybody watches the same thing. We're bringing interactive video experiences to the market this year, which means that every single viewer can have a different experience of the video.
Do we get out of that uncanny valley that you've talked about? Does that happen this year? And if not this year, what is the time frame for that? When you look at some of these advertisers, and there's a bit of a creepy feel. You've talked about it. I mean, yours didn't come across that way, but you expect to get out of that uncanny valley this year, or is it further down the line?
It's going to be this year. We have some really big models training right now, and I think this is going to be the year where we pass the threshold of that uncanny valley. And the reason that that's very exciting is because what we've seen historically is that every time we increase the quality of the avatars, we unlock more and more use cases. And so a big theme for us the last 12 to 18 months has been that as the avatar quality has increased, people have moved from making a lot of internal-facing content, training, learning, that sort of stuff, to a lot more marketing, customer support, simply because the quality of the avatars gets better. So if you kind of extrapolate from where we are now with better avatar quality, the TAM just massively explodes in the next 12
So what does that mean in terms of how much you're shipping? Can you give us a sense of revenues? Can you give us a sense of targets, growth that you're seeing now this year versus last?
So we don't disclose revenue. This has been a fantastic year for us. We've both closed a lot of new logos, new customers, of course. But I think one of the things that investors were very pleased to see when we went out to raise our Series D is the expansion motion, right? So there's a lot of AI companies today that get a lot of initial cash. You signed the first contract, and that's awesome. But then the real signal is actually more 12 months later when the customer has to renew their contract, right? And what we've seen the last 2, 3, 4 years really is just that our customers keep expanding their use of Synthesia. They start off with lower contract values. Now some of those are 5, 10, 15 times bigger than they were initially. And that's, of course, a really strong sign of how much people love to use the Synthesia platform and how much value it drives for their business.
What is the geographic breakdown in terms of revenues now?
It's around 50% North America, which I think is a bit outlier given that we're based here in the UK.
Does that become your main market, do you think, longer term, the US?
I think the US is the main market for software, but we have a big global presence already. The product works in 140 different languages. This year, we're also expanding with boots on the ground into markets like Japan, probably, Australia. We are a very enterprise-centric company, and we do partner with our customers very closely, which means we also need to be there to help them bring their strategies to life with us actually being there, right, with the human kind of connection.
How do you continue to keep a moat with some of the startup competitors like HeyGen? I'm thinking there's a number of competitors now. The moat that you have versus them, how broad and how wide that moat is, and whether or not the likes of OpenAI with Sora, but also Anthropic, Google, whether they essentially eat in to the vertical that you've created. Yeah. Is that a risk?
I mean, competition is always a risk, and of course we look at what's happening, both the bigger players and the smaller players. But I think from where we are now, we've really graduated from being an AI avatar company. That's very much what we were known for 2, 3, or 4 years ago. We are now an AI video platform for the enterprise. We help our customers across the entire process of making video, from the creation with the models all the way to publishing it to their end customers. And so the mode, I think, really is less about the AI models per se. They're very important, but it's actually building a fully fledged out workflow for video that drives value for our customers. And that goes much deeper than just the models. So I think when you look at the big AI companies, Anthropic, OpenAI, I see them much more as partners than I see them as competitors. We care about dialogue-driven content with human presenters, which is thing we are uniquely good at, and I feel very confident that we'll continue to be the market leader.
You've been stepping up your security credentials as well. So you received security compliance certification, the ISO certification. You've been doing red teaming on the platforms as well. What is behind that push, that focus on security, and does it feel like that's enough?
I'm really proud of how much progress we've made here on the security part. Of course, no system is perfect, and we continuously develop it. It comes from two places. First is a moral imperative that we think is the right thing to do to make sure people don't misuse the platform. But the other part is also what we are seeing is that enterprise companies, they do care about who they partner with. They don't want to work with companies that don't really care about content moderation, where you have people making potentially questionable content, right? And
you have content moderators as well, and if so, how many?
I don't remember exactly how many content moderators we have. We have, of course, we have automatic systems, and then we have content moderators. And that is definitely an advantage in the market. Like, people want to work with a trusted player. We've just done red teaming with a big American government agency who could not penetrate the platform and managed to actually create any kind of harmful content. So I think all the investments we've made over the last couple of years have really kind of panned out really well and helps cement our position as being the leader in the
Just briefly,
enterprise.
is the UK meeting the moment on AI?
I'm actually very optimistic with the recent announcements. I think the UK understands that there is a big opportunity to to have a seat at the global table for AI, right? Of course, as with anything, we want to see the execution go through, but I think the intentions are there. I'm very happy that Matt Clifford is spearheading a lot of these initiatives. I think he's absolutely great. So I'm very optimistic. I think we have a big shot at becoming a global AI superpower.